So the uses. As we've already stated, the use of this property will be limited through this development agreement to an apartment complex. And any accessory uses that are attached to those apartments. It will also be used for an outdoor classroom, greenway trails, and public parking for the greenway and the outdoor classroom access. So transportation improvements and parking are the next subcategory. Road cross sections that were identified for the Highway 74 small area plan will be installed within the project and on those connector roads. Improvements that are ID'd by the TIA will also be installed. So anything that was identified through that process will be installed by the developer. I did want to point out that one of the main improvements that will be made by the developer through this process is the Stallings Road and Stevens Mill intersection. The traffic consultant did identify that a signal was needed at this intersection, so the developer, as part of this development agreement and as part of this project, will be making that improvement. The next thing we talk about is greenway and open space. There's greenways that are depicted on the site plan. Those will be built to town standards. We have cross sections in our greenway plan. Those will be provided by the applicant and built to standards on that property. This is a copy of the site plan that shows the trail system that the developer will be responsible for providing. It's in this area here. There will be a connection to the future Stallings Greenway system in this location, so it will become part of the overall Greenway system. Other things that will be required as part of the greenway and open space is the signage for the greenways. Part of our greenway plan does show signage that's been designed by our consultant. They will be required to put that signage in. We'll be working with them once this is approved on where those signs are to be located. The outdoor classroom will be provided by the applicant. There's also 2 pocket parks being provided along Stevens Mill Road between the buildings that will become part of our park system. There's a designated bus parking area that's provided on site that will provide access to the greenway and to link that outdoor classroom area. And then there's also some stone entry features along Stevens Mill Road that there are some details in your packet in those exhibits. You can see that the applicant will be providing at the front of the buildings along the sidewalk on Stevens Mill. Architectural standards. This is something that our subcommittee spent a lot of time discussing with the applicant, is how these buildings were going to look. That's something that the town feels very strongly about. We wanted to make sure that that architecture was providing a quality project, something that would be sustainable over time. The drawings there are shown in the exhibit, so you can see exactly how those buildings look. I did want to point out that the developer did agree to provide buildings in a certain, elevators in a number of these buildings. He's also said that he will upfit the other buildings so that elevators can be added in the future. So I did want to point that out. This is a copy. There we go. Of the proposed elevations. As you can see, there's brick included. There's also archways here. These will be patios on these first floor units.